is happening, everybody? It's me, San Martin, and I am live on several different pages, even the TekStop page. We took over for today, but we're gonna get back here in a short minute. Different cameras.
Oh, okay.
Two different cameras, guys. Okay, so now that we are back and you can see our beautiful faces, I am San Martin, and you are?
I'm Niles with TekStop.
TekStop. He's like, wait, where am I from? Where am I from? Where am I from?
Who am I?
Who am I? What am I here doing? I mean, it's a pretty big conversation when it comes down to technology, because guess what? We are all into the techie world. Some people are, I was actually watching something the other day, and they were talking about lights in your house, and obviously Google has taken over, like, you know, all the like the cool little programming. You can program everything off your phone, and if you want the lights on in your house, if you want the camera on in your bedroom, I mean, all these things are, well, I don't know if the camera in the bedroom would be a good one, but anyways,
yeah, right. Yeah.
we want to come to you and talk to you a little bit about techie world, and if you guys don't think that there's an issue or a problem in the tech world, you got something else. So that's why you are here, because you can go ahead and talk about it. So current events are saying that there is some things that are happening, and obviously you like to go ahead and keep up to date with those things. So let's talk a little bit about those things that are kind of like, hey guys, you need to hear this story.
Yeah. So, you know, we focus really heavily on cybersecurity because we all rely on this technology, but with convenience comes risks too. Whether it's your personal information, your business information, whatever. So we subscribe to alerts from different organizations to keep up to date on that. One of the big things that came out from CISA, they are the Cybersecurity Information and Security Agency, part of the U.S. government that helps with cybersecurity, advising businesses, things like that. So they published an alert like 1 or 2 weeks ago, talking about some more ransomware attacks that are actually coming out of North Korea. And they're giving tips on what you need to be doing. And these tips are not focused just on large enterprises or government contractors. These are things that every business needs to be doing, whether you're a one-man shop, 10-man shop, or, you know, hundreds of employees.
Well, you know, the crazy part about it is, like, they're not just attacking just the businesses in general. They're attacking like personal people, personal pages in general. And I just the other day, I had one of my good friends, you know, very good friend, Matt. He messaged me, and well, no, he actually added me as a friend. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that you was not my friend. And so obviously I accepted, because I was just like, yeah, you know, maybe he just got a new page and he wanted to go ahead and start something new. Well, guess what? I end up getting a message just a little bit after saying, hey man, I need your help. Did you see that I actually got that grant? Did you get it? And obviously the engagement will start right there. Like, no, what are you talking about, man? Well, you know what? If you go to this link and check it out, you can go ahead and apply. And at that point in time, as soon as you hit that link, then it's all over. So it's not just the businesses that you have to worry about. It's actually your personal accounts with other people's personal accounts that they take over. And it's just like, dude, that's not cool, man. Because, you know, as a person that wants to help out a friend or whatever, like one of them I read is like, dude, I got locked out of my account. Can you help me get back in? And you're just like, well, why am I the guy that's supposed to help you get it back in? And you know, as a friend, you'd be like, oh yeah, sure. What do you want me to do? Oh, you need to go here and log in here and get into that page. And what I remember is that the spammers and the people that can actually like take all of your information will put up a fake page, put a and it will look like exactly like Facebook, and then you type in your credentials, and then what ends up happening, they just took it from you, and then boom, they got your stuff.
Yeah, it happens in a matter of clicks, you know. And what makes it so difficult to spot these things, you know, we're used to the Nigerian prince scams from, you know, the early 2000s and whatnot, and those are really easy to spot. You know, obviously prince doesn't want to give you a bunch of money for no reason, but nowadays,
man, I want $45,000 I have to get back to you later on in a check.
right, yeah, and you know, back then the internet and all this stuff was kind of new, so people did fall for it, unfortunately. But nowadays, the hackers are really smart. They're getting sophisticated. So those requests like, hey, I need you to help me get back into my account, looks very similar to the real a real request that Facebook might send. Because if you do get locked out of your account, for instance, that is one of the options, is that you send something to your friends, and there's a process. And so and most people haven't actually encountered that, because how often do you actually get locked out of your account? You know, maybe once in a while.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
So-
you know, the world is a little bit of a trip, because, you know, it's like you know, you don't feel safe in a lot of places. So how is it that you could go ahead and decipher a hacker to an actual real message?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
So-
give us some tips on that.
So, like I said, it can be really difficult to identify it just on its face, but there's a couple things you can look for. And then even then, if you're not sure, there's another step you can take. So the first thing is, don't click on links, period. If you can avoid it, don't click on links that are unsolicited. You know, you randomly get one from a friend on Facebook, or someone you don't know, or you get an email with a link and you weren't expecting that, don't click on it.
Yeah.
Even if it is legitimate. So say maybe you get something from your bank. It says, oh, you need to, your account was locked. We need to verify who you are to unlock the account. Okay, so maybe that's a legitimate message, but instead of clicking the link in the email or in that message, just navigate to the bank's website, log in, and if it's legitimate, there'll be a notice there on that page and say, hey, okay, you need to do X, Y, Z.
That is exactly what I end up doing.
Yep.
And in some cases, I mean, I like to go ahead and also Google the name that's inside of it. And then I always also attach spam, you know, next to it. And sure enough, you know, a lot of those little emails or those little blasts that come at you in your emails, it shows like this is a potential spam. You know, so Google is getting really good about you know, detecting that there's a lot of spam. But I mean, if you have a website, if you guys have websites out there and you have a business website, and you start getting messages from you know, your personal business page. Okay, so what they end up doing on ours is that we have a place so you can go ahead and get in contact with us. So what ends up happening is that it goes straight to our emails, and it says so and so is trying to go ahead and blah blah blah, and you know, you obviously look at it, because sometimes people do message us to go ahead and get in contact with us, but a lot of the scammers are just messaging us and leaving links inside of the email. So legitimacy is one of my favorites. It's like, yeah, that looks a little bit fishy, and if it looks fishy, 9 out of 10 is going to be fishy, very fishy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And social media, because of its prevalence in our lives, that's a big target for cyber criminals. And you think about like the example you brought out of someone making a fake profile and friending you. Well, something you need to consider is how much information is available publicly. Maybe you have that pretty locked down, but maybe your friends can see more information about you. So as soon as you friended that hacker, now they can see all this personal information about you. You know, maybe it's your date of birth. You know, happy birthday on Facebook is pretty common. If you don't need to have that information publicly available, then don't. Because all these bits of information, the hackers will gather. Okay, you know, San Martin, we know his name, now we know his birthday, and they put it into a database, and maybe in 6 months they find out your email address, and then a couple months later they find out, you know, your home address. And now they can use that to make a very targeted attack toward you, send you an email that looks very legitimate because they have all this information about you, and it can be so easy to fall for that.
Dude, it's freaking insane. Okay, so I just got a message just recently from Norton Antivirus, and I'm like, oh wow, and they literally said, we are going to withdraw $365 next month. Unless you don't want that, please click this link, you know, to go ahead and unsubscribe or whatever it may be. And I was like, what in the world? First of all, I haven't had Norton Antivirus. I didn't even know it still existed to this day. And I was like, what in the world is going on? You know, here, I'm just going to put this up on the screen. It says, I just got an email from PayPal that was not PayPal. The difference was the spelling. And Amazon text message, I never got Amazon text messages. So, I mean, these things are actually really, really happening. And it's every day very legitimate. Like, these guys have nothing else better to do, and this is what their job is to go ahead and just wreak havoc on you. One of the things back in the days is like, you play those games on Facebook by saying, what's your favorite color? what's your favorite school, what you and it will go through a list of all the things that you have done. And technically, if you actually do anything that has to do with, like, creating a password. I mean, this is banks, they do it. Where's your first school that you gone to? What was your maiden name? What was your color of? What's your favorite color? And all those, like, those questions that only you would know the answer to. But then they put it on a game on Facebook,
Yeah.
and you legitimately put all those answers in that freaking Facebook page. And so it's just like, it's like ding, 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 ding. These guys are very, very smart, and they're very cunning. We got a fan on here, man. Captain Logistics, TekStop is awesome. How you doing, my friend? So, guys, thank you for joining us this morning. This is a very big topic, and we're going to try to go ahead and keep this information coming to you guys. So you guys are very smart when it comes down to this. But technology is very scary. What are some of the do's and don'ts when it comes down to an app?
Yeah. So the number one thing that you want to realize is that a lot of the information you have out there on all these apps is sensitive, even if it's just like your name and email address. That's valuable to cyber criminals. So you want to take steps to protect it. We talk about it all the time, and you're probably going to get sick of hearing us say it, but enable multi-factor authentication on all of your online accounts. In the CISO alert I talked about earlier, that's one of their main bullet points. They had 3 recommendations, one of which is enable multi-factor authentication. So to get into your email, to get into your Facebook account, to get into your bank account, you want to have it set up so that you require your username and password, of course, and then a secondary step. That's that text message you get to your phone. But it's so important in today's world. It's too easy for hackers to get your password. In many cases, they can guess your password with no former knowledge in a matter of hours. So,
what's your password?
Yeah.
Don't do that one.
and then that's another problem. Yeah.
I mean, there is so many things that you guys need to learn out there, because technology is getting a little bit more sophisticated, but it's also getting a little bit more vulnerable for some of the apps that we're doing. And I mean, in let's just be a little bit more clear that some apps have to go through a vigorous ability to upload this information. So you can't just upload an actual app and it'd be like a spamming thing. But there is some apps that are on children's tablets or whatever it may be, and it can be completely not a spam, but what do they call it? Well, there's a bunch of ads on it.
Oh, like, yeah, it's adware is probably what we'd call it.
Okay, so basically, the other day, Kiki ended up saying, "Oh, I want this keyboard," and I'm like, "All right, cool." So I get on there, and it's just like ad after ad after ad after ad after ad, and I mean, obviously, it will entice the child to go be like, "Oh, let's just click that," because let's just face it, some ads are getting really, really smart, and they will make the X to X out of that ad like very, very transparent, so you don't even know where it's at. It's like in the middle of the screen on the top right corner, and obviously if you click on it, and it just takes you straight to that that ad or that location, and that right there alone could go ahead and just start havoc on your page.
And the ad space that that's there within your apps, on websites, all that, it's cheap real estate for criminals to put up virus distribution ads, basically. And yeah, it's dangerous. You got to be careful. Technology is great. Technology is convenient. All these apps that are available nowadays, it's great advancement, but with that comes some risk. So you got to be careful in knowing what apps you're downloading. Are they from a reputable source? Things like that.
And I think a couple of things that I love to do is I love to go ahead and read the reviews. The reviews really don't lie. I mean, I know for a fact that, a lot of them would go ahead and try to drown out the bad of them. So you have to read past like the first 5 or first 6, because technically all they have to do is just tell their team to go in there and give a good review on there saying, "Oh, I love this app. I love this app. I love this app." But you really go in there and actually navigate through all the reviews to go ahead and see all the positives and the highs and the lows. But it's a crazy world out there. I mean, it's one of those things that we all have to protect ourselves. I mean, because everything is now on the phone. It's so like scary, but at the same time, there's the old, like somebody was talking about the other day was I remember when you had to what was it? They're just talking about the good old days. I remember when you had to do something and you're just like, now you just like, just tap your phone and you're paying, So it's like, wallets are becoming obsolete. I got a wallet right now that is supposed to be RFID, or
blocking.
NFC blockage or whatever. So nothing could get into the card. And it's like, why, and I don't know if you guys ever done the tap to pay, but if it's generated by electricity and you just barely go to that little tap I pay, it will pick it up real quick. And then all of a sudden it will initiate the actual payment. So that right there, people that are really, really good in technology, all they got to do is just generate something that's actually generating a little bit more power and walk right by you, and boom, they got something.
Yeah, and so all your cards have these RFID chips now, so they can just steal your card that way. If you've, a lot of us have had our cards stolen, and we're like, where in the world did that happen? It literally could have happened anywhere. Unfortunately. So
well, I mean, tell everybody how to get a hold of you, and obviously TekStop does consultations, so you can go ahead and make sure that you guys are up to par, but tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
So probably the best way is to go to our website. It's tekstopaz.com, and tech is spelled TEK. I think we're getting it up on here.
Yep.
And then there, you've got our phone number. You can submit a request right on the website. We do perform emergency services for businesses, so if you've got an urgent matter, just give us a call. We'll get on it right away to help you out.
Yeah, and then once again, guys, before you start buying anything that's out there, give them a call, let them, navigate it through, tell you what's the best systems that are really good to work with. A lot of our computers are really, really tech savvy to the point where they're trying to keep us safe and trying to keep us away from getting spammed or even in trouble with our finances, or even just, spending money where we shouldn't. And just like Tammy said, the elderly are very vulnerable, and it's very true, because sometimes they're not. I hate to say that, but they're not. There are very trusting people, and so when somebody says something, they were like, "Oh, I should probably help." Sometimes they were like, "Oh, your niece is in Mexico and she needs money because she lost her wallet," and they're like, "Oh, okay, let me go ahead and send that money," and then all of a sudden, it's gone. So anyways, guys, if you guys want to go ahead and reach out, reach out to Niles. He's going to help out. Anything you want to close with?
Yeah. I'd say so. Technology is so complex nowadays, especially if you're, using technology in your business like most of us are. So I'd say just because it works and you can get work done doesn't necessarily mean it's set up correctly or securely. So having someone, that you can trust to give you advice, like us, that you can talk to as in a consulting manner, is really important. So don't just say it's working so good.
No, this is one thing that you guys need to know about. And if you guys want to know more, once again, that's where you get all your information, and allow him to come in and check it out, making sure that you guys are safe. With that being said, I'm out of here. I got things to do. I got a child that just got her tonsils out, so I'm going to go help her out and see if there's anything I could do for her. I'm out of here, guys. Bye.
See ya.